Hi, I'm Sabrina Brown, founder and CEO of Girlfriends Tea, where we offer magnificent luxury tea with your enjoyment in mind. You can visit us at girlfriendstea.com and click on Shop Now, where you will see delicious flavors such as Uniquely Golden, Unapologetically Berry, The Other Bourbon, and the ever-popular Belle of the Ball. Because ladies, we are all the Belle of the Ball. Thank you for joining me for a cup of tea. I am delighted to be welcoming you again. And you all, I can't wait until co-host Tamika returns because she will be returning to Girlfriends Tea. Many of you may not know, but my girl is recently married. So she's juggling being newly married and she's coming back. But meanwhile, we have a lovely guest with us today. I want to welcome you, Christina Porter with Savannah Curls. I'm happy to have you here with me today.
Hey, how are you,
Hey,
Sabrina?
girlfriend. We have
Hey,
our tea,
girl.
y'all. We have our tea. Thank you for joining me for a cup of tea. I am drinking Uniquely Golden. I love it, everyone, because it has ginger and turmeric. Love it, love it, love it. It has some pineapple pieces. What are you drinking, Christina?
I'm drinking the Kakagawa green tea. It's really delicious, very light, and it has very clean notes.
It does have very clean notes. That's out of Japan, Sencha Kakagawa. When I was looking for a green tea, a friend of mine, she's from Japan, and she said, you got to get the Sencha Kakagawa. So, it would not be Girlfriend's Tea if I didn't bring you in right. Go, girl, with your curls. And I love the name of your company, and you are looking fabulous, by the way. Absolutely fabulous. You said, do tell. Well, I want to let everyone know how I met you. I met Christina actually through the Redix Rules Cohort 3. So if you watch our channel, by the way, I want you to subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you can follow us. And you can see that Redix Rules Cohort 3 interview with Dr. Angela Redis. But that's where I met this lovely young lady. And I have fallen in love with her, just like all of the other cohorts. We are all her beloved adopted moms, and we just adore her and her energy. So we're going to get right into it because you are a businesswoman and you have things to share. So let me tell you all
Yeah.
something about her. Christina was born in Savannah, Georgia. And during her early years, she spent a great amount of time with her great grandmother, Clyde T. Martin. She was an old school woman, her grandmother, and was very concerned with children having their hair pressed and presentable. It is significant that you didn't experience natural hair until you were 21 years old. Now, I can't believe that, right?
No.
It's significant that you haven't experienced it because I'm going to tell you, I grew up on the press and curl, and I'll show it to you when we meet for our party tomorrow, our Christmas party. I have a burn mark. You can't really see it. It's right there from a straightening comb that was dropped on my wrist. And it just bubbled up real bad, the skin and everything. And that was old school. And I think my mother put some ointment on or whatever. But I was traumatized by that straightening comb. And then I got a relaxer at 16. And Christina, I just got rid of the relaxer 2 years ago. So I'm 59 now. So at 57, I went from age 16 to 57 with a relaxer. And I'm thrilled because my hair still looks good. We have modern products now, as you know, and I love your hair because your hair is natural, but I'm natural now. I'm still natural. So
You look great.
don't crucify me. I'm still natural. I just blow dry it. So I want to let everyone know that her website is savannahcurls.com. So check her out at savannahcurls.com. So you were raised by your grandmother pretty much, right?
Yes.
Well, here's what I want to know. I want to know at what point when you were 21 years old, what happened with that experience? How did that feel when you experienced your natural hair at 21?
So it was kind of forced on me just because, backstory, I was actually in the middle of deployment.
Oh,
And we were visiting all of these different countries. We were going to different lands that really didn't have a whole lot of people of color or Black people there. So the normal things that I would reach for, like a relaxer or even some deep conditioners, just wasn't present. So
mm.
I inadvertently ended up going natural during that time period.
Isn't that? And see, it worked out though.
Yeah,
It worked
I
out
haven't
because your
turned
hair
back.
is
I love it.
gorgeous. It worked out. And speaking of our crown, we were talking before the interview about the Crown Act. Can you believe, Christina, that the Crown Act was passed only as recent as 2 years ago? It's unbelievable. So in January 2019, California became the first state to introduce the Crown Act. Governor Gavin Newsom signed it into law on July 3rd, 2019. But Crown is an acronym that stands for everyone, in case you didn't know, create a respectful and open world. So if you go to their website, crownact.com, you will see that the crownact.com, you will see that Dove is a premier sponsor of this. So kudos to Dove for taking this on. It's just, isn't it unbelievable that we still have to fight for this? And right now it's legal, per what I looked up, it's legal in 18 states, including the Virgin Islands in their territory. But it's just amazing that women have to go through this on the job about natural hair. Some of them are being laid off or whatever the case may be, saying they need to change their hairstyle. Did you ever experience that? I'm just curious.
Certainly, certainly. I still experience something like that to this day. Like, um, and it's funny that even in my home state, like out of all of the states that signed that into law, that is still not in law in the state of Georgia or many southern states that expect have that expectation. But me as a service member, of course, all the time, I'm hit either for the bulk of my hair, the hairstyles that I have, my edges, maybe if my hair is not in a bun. There's just so much restriction on natural hair, even in especially in the military. But even with those laws bringing light to the how unfair it is, you
Yeah.
still experience it more so your from women who look like me. I still experience that it feels like discrimination because I have a lot of hair, and having a lot of hair, I it can't just fit into this one size fit all. It can't fit into just this one bun, or if I have something that's going on the day prior and I'm trying to make sure my hair is set for that, I'm still going to get some kind of pushback or some kind of side eye from having hair.
I'm glad you brought that up because it's unfortunate about, blacks, how we are against each other. I mean, I know you and I had a conversation with another friend of ours about why do we hesitate to wear our natural hair? And I chime, well, I do have natural hair, but you meant unpressed hair, and it's just a preference for me. I haven't gotten to the point where I have the length yet because I do want to see. I do not want to have to worry about it freezing up. I do want that look, but I'm waiting on the length because I know it's going to shrivel up, more. And so I like a little bit of length for me. So I'm waiting on that because I want to see how that looks. But it's unfortunate that even within our own group that we do that to each other. And your hair
Yeah.
is fabulous. And it doesn't matter whether that's right. It's fabulous. It's absolutely fabulous. So we're going to continue with this with topic that you brought up about being in the military. So you joined the U.S. Navy. Thank you for your service
Thank
as an
you.
aviation ordnanceman at 18 years old. When you visited other countries, you were disappointed in the lack of natural hair care products for Blacks. Thus began your natural hair journey. So tell us about your hair experience. Because you know what, women is an experience with our hair, especially Black women. Your hair experience while on the ship, and in visiting other countries, what was it like not being able to get to those products that you were accustomed to using, or maybe even how you were received?
It was a little different. Firstly speaking, it was just really challenging not getting the products that I needed because there's but so much room you can have to stock up for long-term deployment. So that was an issue. Another thing was that we had a ship store, but they would run out of certain products, and if you did get it, it dried your hair out. And relaxers was just not something that was kept on the shelves. It's just was something that sold out incredibly fast. So what I ended up doing was I would take avocados from the domestics and I would take what deep conditioner I had left. I would ask someone in the galley for an egg, and I would crush it up into a pulp, and I would apply it to my hair every Sunday. And that's predominantly how I ended up taking care of my hair. I couldn't rely on care boxes because I just don't think my family knew how to send a care box to me. So that's what I ended up doing to take care of my hair. And before I knew it, my hair transitioned to natural hair without me ever even knowing what transitioning your hair was.
Now that's interesting. Everyone, Christina Porter is founder and CEO of Savannah Curls. You can find out more about her hair products and her body products at savannahcurls.com. She's got it going on. So before I even ask you the next question, I want to tell you all that I support her, and I have her shea butter, and it smells so good. So I bring it close to the camera so you can see it. Obviously, I've been using it, right? I've been using it, but this is shea butter. Okay, this is not toppling over, but it has a wonderful scent and it actually moisturizes the skin quite well. I also have your Christina, your black soap. Now you showed this to me when you were vending, and I'm telling you all, here's what I'm gonna do more on beauty products, you all. I'm gonna do more on hair and beauty because it's $1 trillion industry, and the women were flocking over to Christina to get these products. Okay, so people are interested in natural hair products, and I found out about now this black soap I can use on my hands to wash. You can use it on your hair, your body, all over. I absolutely love it. So that's soap. So I'm not showing that, but Christina, when you had your bowl, she has a lovely setup, y'all, when she's vending, and you're washing your hands with that. Tell us about, I just want to skip ahead a little bit. Tell us, I mean, where did you, okay, I heard it first with the avocado, right? The avocado and the egg. But then you started taking this seriously and started getting in the lab and doing your own products, which I find utterly amazing. So tell us about that.
Yeah, it just seemed like it never left me. It became something that was really important to me because you don't do that for 9 months and just stop. So that was a full 9-month deployment where I went without mostly commercial products. In other countries, I was received as an anomaly, and a lot of people wanted to put their hands in my hair. And they had a very natural reception. To me, it was a little strange, but this is the first time that even they have seen, for the most part, a person that is proud to wear their hair out. And it made me want to keep moving forward. Um, what really made me keep going forward with formulating was when I went to Maryland. I got stationed in Maryland at Pax River, Maryland, VX 23. During that time period, I was able to go to school, really relax because it wasn't arduous duty. That was a time for us to, yes, work on our military craft, but it was also a time for us to really partake in our education and extracurricular activities that would actually build us as a person. And that's what I did. And I would go in my home and I would research different products and I would think about the issues that I had because I actually did develop stress related eczema and
Mhm.
alopecia. And I always had adult acne. So I was always naturally just researching things, always on the internet, trying to find different ways to take care of my skin or always finding, looking at what ancient cultures did, different cultures, what the African cultures did to take care of their hair and skin, what Indian people did to help take care of their skin. Definitely Korean because they're killing the game in skincare. And so I just looked up different things, and when it made sense, I would make it myself. And when the acne started disappearing and when my acne scars started going away, I knew I had something great.
You knew you had something great. Now, I think that's interesting how you had developed stress triggered alopecia and eczema, and you tried everything, and it wasn't until your hair fell out, actually after visiting a Dominican hair salon, that you were forced into the path of making and formulating products, just like when you were on that ship for your own hair care. So that's how Savannah Curls was born, everyone. But I just want to know what this formulating. How did you know where to start? Did you go on YouTube, on the internet, or was it just a plethora of research?
Well, when I was in Savannah, my mom always took me to natural stores, and she my great grandmother, we always ate natural food, so I felt like the magic was going back into natural things because that was twice. It happened to me twice that a company or a government entity violated my trust when it came to my hair, because we rely on the FDA, do we not, to really do the test on these products. And so you have women who have been using relaxers and formaldehyde, and allowing a company or entity allowed formaldehyde to be placed in products that actually cause cancer, that actually cause our hair to thin out, that actually causes us long-term issues. Not only just that, cervical cancer. I mean, like, that had been twice. So I visited this Dominican hair salon, and my hair fell out like glass. She put a lot of heat in my hair. I believe the shampoo she used might have had a little bit of relaxer in it, and a deep conditioner she put on my hair might have had a couple of spoonfuls of relaxer in my hair. I walked in there. She called me nappy. She said my hair was too thick, all this other stuff. And that's how she proceeded to do my hair. And then she put all this heat in it, and she put some grease in it, which I've never seen anyone doing before. I can even protest, thinking that my hair could survive it, because in the South, most people actually kind of used Crisco as
Mhm.
a substitute for just that heat serum to put on your hair and to get it straightened. So I was like, maybe she knows what she's doing. I mean, she has a salon, right? And after that, yeah, my hair looked gorgeous, but my hair smelled like a burnt frying pan. And then my hair, you get about a week, you get to washing your hair, and I just noticed my hair just kept falling out by the clumps, by the fistfuls. And let me tell you something, I had me some hair. And just watching
Yes.
it break
It would have scared me
day
too.
after day, whether I did something to it or not, or I'm just casually, turning my head and looking at my, shoulders, seeing my hair broken off, like tiny hairs broken off, and hair that was as long as this breaking off at the neck. And I just cut it off. I cut it off, and um, I just I stopped everything. I looked at every one of my products. I stopped going to professional services, which scared me off. But I started really critically looking at my products in a way I never looked at my products before, because I got off the ship and I was like, okay, well, this company can take care of me, but then it wasn't working. So that's like, well, why is it not working? And I critically viewed each and every one of the products and the ingredients. And when I was doing my research, I found out that even those ingredients were toxic at a certain level, at a certain dosage. And I said to myself, well, if I put enough of this on my skin weekly, monthly, daily, I'm getting a certain amount of toxic dose. There's no way I can't. I use this all the time. And
Right.
so I just researched on the internet at first. And this was during a magical time on YouTube where there were natural women putting their recipes out on YouTube. There were women who were showing their natural hair experience, their journey, their trials, their tribulations, and their experiences with their hair and with their own formulation. So it was just, we were kind of working with each other, and I was just sitting in the background figuring out which one would do best for me. And that's how I kept, got started with it. And I still started very small. I started with helping with my acne at first, and then I started with my shea butter at first, and then I would go to my kitchen and I would put yogurt and this and that in my hair, and then I just kept going.
Well, it seems like you were born for this because it's my understanding you received a final multiple of 100 in AP Science and Chemistry.
I did.
That is amazing. You already had an inclination towards chemistry and what makes things go together and work. So what makes Savannah Curls hair products stand out from other products?
What makes my products unique is my perspective, because when we get another company, let's just say a major conglomerate, to make our products, they put some very exotic ingredient in the front, and that's our little bait to get all interested, and we take it home and it may or may not work. But for me, I formulate based off of my experience, because as a woman with alopecia, eczema, and acne, I have to know the product is working. I have to sit down with every ingredient, learn its characteristic trait, its property. I have to research its bioavailability to the human body. What segue would be best for delivering the ingredient to the follicle, to where it's supposed to go. I have to make sure its pH balance is correct. I have to make sure that it performs and does exactly what it needs to do. And I don't think I could have done that from the perspective of a person that doesn't have anything going on with me. Like if I was formulating for acne but didn't have acne, what would I have to do? I would have to maybe pay someone to do a case study. I would have to put thousands of dollars into hoping to get someone's feedback. Like, so all of it was done in real time, in a from a patient place, because I didn't have the pressure of making money, not making money on my back. It
Right.
was just me, and seeing my results from week to week, and journaling that and annotating that. And so when something worked and it worked, and I was like, okay, so then let me sophisticate this. Then let me see if there's a new ingredient out there. I don't want to just rest on one herb, or maybe focus on the cultural contribution from one country. I want to place them together side by side and put it in one container and see if it works. And that's how I do it, because I'm there. Like, I am the consumer. And
Yeah.
so that's how I'm able to really know, as a natural, especially as a natural, being a natural for 13 years. I have tested so many different detangling brushes. I've hopped from so many different companies, and I have used so many different herbs that I've narrowed down the most effective one and made it convenient for the modern woman. And I've packaged it in a way that minimizes the necessary or the usual recommended amount of preservatives, and I've made it available so that the average everyday person can just take it off the shelf, use it, and put it in. You're not on a ship with me crushing avocados and eggs.
Right.
I've done all that for you, and that passion is put into the products, and that's what makes me different.
Now I like that word, passion. Passion, because that's exactly what it is. Most people might not have taken that time, but see, that's your passion. And when it's our passion and it's our destiny, we're going to take the time because we're interested in it. Now I'm looking at your skin and I've seen you, of course, we know each other. So I see you in person and we hang out. Your skin is very clear. Very clear. It's absolutely beautiful along with your hair. You're beautiful, naturally beautiful. So, which ingredients were important in clearing up your acne? I heard you mention in your kitchen how you start out with the avocado, but which ingredients do you think or do you know were important in clearing up your acne?
Excuse me.
Hmm.
I researched what black soap and its different properties can do for many different things. It helps with eczema, it helps with acne, it helps with rashes, it helps with psoriasis, just contact dermatitis. It helps with all of those things. And then there's a different combination of botanical ingredients that I feel like are trade secrets. Like I'm like, oh, I don't know if I want to say it, but
Oh, no, no,
I
no.
put
Don't do any trade secrets. You're fine.
I put them all in a bottle and
Whatever you
really
have on the label, that's what you can share.
yes.
Yeah.
So I put the oregano oil in there. I put the lavender. I put the peppermint, and I made sure that the charcoal, all those together, working together in harmony, helped really lift and clear my skin up by taking the pollution out. And because even though I was eating well, I still had acne. Like I just couldn't believe how much of a thumper I was when it came to eating well, that I still had acne. And so I knew it may have just been something I might have to just come to terms with. And so it putting that together helped me out and helped clear up my skin.
Excellent. Why are glycerin, salts, formaldehyde I get, but I can't believe it's in products, petroleum, why are they bad for our hair and skin? I mean, I think one of them just sits on your hair if it's petroleum, but go ahead. I'll let you answer that.
All those ingredients just rub me the wrong way, and I'm gonna break it down. So there's glycerin. I don't have a problem with glycerin as a whole, but I do have a problem with how much of it is used in formulations. Sometimes you have a formulation about as big as this cup, right? But when you look at how much they put in it to save money, they might put about this much of it in there, and you might have this sliver of actual real vitamin dense ingredients put in there, and it's kind of a sham. It's kind of a sham. It leads to product buildup. It actually dries your hair out because if there's not enough water in the atmosphere for it to attract water inside of your hair, then what is it going to do? It's going to actually snatch it out of your hair. It's going to rob your hair of it because the environment is not water rich. And so it does that, and its properties are very gunky to me, and it's because of all of the processing that goes into making it clear, then and scent free, then it snatches the nutrients out of it in that processing, and it's just not something I prefer to work with. Um, salt. Salt is used as a cheap thickener. Oh, sorry. Going back to going back to the glycerin, and it's a very affordable, very cheap product. And so people most of the time get away with um, having producing and putting something on a shelf and making it pretty and jazzing it up. But what is it doing for you? And most of the time, it's just gunking up your hair, especially when you use it as a styler. And then the salts. So, salts and formulation can classically be used to dehydrate the product, which makes it thicker, which can make it thicker. But in all actuality, there are better products, better, um, I want to just say ingredients that you can use to thicken it up. And that typically ends up drying out your hair, can lead to drying out your hair, can lead to contact dermatitis on the scalp, psoriasis along the hairline. Um, in general. And so there's that. That's why I don't really like using that in my formulation. And then I could go on and on about formaldehyde, but I will just say that formaldehyde is really dangerous. And you don't, and it's not in black and white on in the front, and the forefront is in very small lettering, and the back of relaxers and stuff like that. And so it's led to a generation of predominantly black women, because that's who uses the relaxers, where we have thin hair, cervical cancers, hormone imbalances, miscarriages. Like it's been like a silent killer and a silent hair loss, means of hair loss in our community. Where I remember, I won't mention my grandmother's name, but when by the time that I was a conscious person and she stopped wearing her wigs, she had no hair. She spent an entire lifetime putting relaxers on her hair to achieve this Eurocentric standard of beauty and kempt Southern expectation. And she had no hair. Now, I thought that that was something that I would experience just as getting older. But then I would meet women from the island who just had dreadlocks, and their hair was flourishing down to their knees long. And I'm talking about a beautiful elder in our community who had hair down past her ankles with roots upon roots growing. And I was just, well, what is she doing? Like, what is what is she doing that's different than what American women are doing? And in a first world country, we have access to so much, probably too much. And they didn't have access to that. So their hair was long. And so it's the formaldehyde. And I would say, probably to my detriment, that the FDA approval on products is not necessarily regulation, yes, but is it? I mean, how did formaldehyde make it in our products, and where was the people to be proactive and say, "Hey, this causes cancer." We're just now getting reports in 2022 about its detriment on our community. Like, why? And then
Yeah.
there you mentioned the last ingredient, petroleum. So little do people know that petroleum, the byproduct of petroleum jelly, however you want to say it, but petroleum jelly, the stuff that you put on your baby's diaper rashes, that is a byproduct of extraction of gasoline. It's gone through dirty pipes, and all this other stuff, and it's been extracted from crude oil, the stuff that they pull out of the earth, that goes into your car, that gets processed a million times over to turn into this product, which they couldn't find enough uses for. They didn't want it to go to waste. They wanted to still be able to make a profit even off of the byproduct of gasoline extraction, off of motor oil extraction. So they said, well, how can we get rid of this? And for the longest time, they just put it in cosmetics. And I'm talking about your mother, me, you, your cousin, your aunt, your daughters, like men, all of
Everybody.
us,
Yeah.
everyone have been exposed to this stuff, and it's not something that's detected very well. And so when we use it in our cosmetics, it's a cheap filler to or substitute for oil, for actual nutrient dense oil that's supposed to lubricate our skin and segue vitamins into our epidermis or into our cuticle layer. And so it's been snuck in there, and you'll smell it. It's terrible. Once the perfume of the um the petroleum jelly wears off, then you'll smell something that smells like motor oil. And if you slap it on your skin the way I used to when I was in high school, I would sit back with a bag of laundry sometimes. I was like, why does it smell like car fluid? And I've been asking myself that all my life. And it wasn't until I made the switch to pure shea butter where my clothes wasn't damaged from the buildup of petroleum inside of my cotton clothing, and
You know,
or
that's
even my pillowcase, my
I was
cotton
going to ask
pillowcase.
you about that. That was going to be my next question about the pillowcases because you sell silk pillowcases and bonnets, and I want to know what is unique about the silk in your products because you talk about the uniqueness of the silk in your products.
Silk is an amazing textile, that's definitely different from cotton and definitely different from satin. I'll break it down. So
Hmm.
silk has a zero surface friction, which is perfect for your skin, maintaining and helping with wrinkles, and it helps with keeping your cuticle layer of your hair from being chipped down and rubbed up against in a rough way. When you put silk on your hair, it just glides on it. When you rub it past your skin, it doesn't snatch water out of your skin and out of your hair the way cotton will. And and cotton is very fast absorbing, and so it will pull moisture out of your hair and out of your skin. So when you invest into using a silk pillowcase, you're really making a great investment. Satin is a okay substitute, but satin has a toxicity to it, and it does polyurethane does mimic the female hormone of estrogen, and it causes have been known to cause shock in the womb. Polyurethane buildup in breast tissue causes is transferred to the baby when you're nursing, um, and it disrupts your endocrine system, and it's just it's just terrible. So as a and of course it's not bioavailable. It's bio sustainability and how it breaks down an environment takes thousands of years to break plastic down of all types, whether it's soft plastic, stringed plastic, it doesn't matter. It takes thousands of years to break that down. And so what I wanted to do was invest into something that is sustainable, that is beautiful, that has no toxicity to the community that I serve, and give you that bang that you're looking for, but the long term performance of silk um, matches that of satin because silk, when it's not exposed to sun and extreme moisture, can last at least 100 years.
Amazing. So before we go, I'm just so proud of you. I just want to share that with everyone. I'm just so proud of her work ethic. This is a working young lady. She's on fire. You can hear her passion as she's talking about. She's thorough and she's detailed. But I want you to give one lesson because I support young entrepreneurs. Again, I'm proud of you. One lesson that you've learned from being in business that you want to pass along to anyone.
Let's see. So, as you guys know, or as Sabrina introduced me earlier, as the second place winner of the Redix Rules Cohort 3, an amazing immersive program. The Redix Rules Cohort 3, if I could sum it up into one phrase, is a queen, a program made by a queen that helps other queens hold up their crown. She spared no expense in creating a top notch, world class program that has helped elevate me and what I can see for myself in the future. She helped me see the bigger picture. She helped me understand delegation, the program and the business that I perform, and is that you have to measure. You have to be willing to take the data down and measure your progress and what you're doing, being able to be humble enough and centered in yourself where you can receive feedback is a definite one of those things, because if I don't receive feedback, I can't grow. I don't know what I'm doing right. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I don't know where to place my focus, or the waste is being where there is waste in my process. So feedback, certainly, and exit is important, because I never thought about that. I thought I would be grinding to the day I died until I met Dr. Angela Reddix, and how she expressed there will be a time where we will deserve rest, relaxation, and we have to plan for that. And that plan needs to be taken into great consideration as you are working towards the end, because you're not going to work forever. And so what does your
Absolutely.
exit looks like?
Absolutely. We
And
got to have that exit strategy. And everyone, I want to share with you angelaredis.com. That's where I met Christina. I too am a product of that and absolutely love it. Like, and you can go to Angela, and it's actually opening up for cohort 3. I don't know when the portal will be opening, but it will opening up next year. So do like we did. And I didn't know if I would even be selected. And I'm just so happy. And I saw Christina come out there on the field, and all of us, all 9 of us, have been connected ever since. It really is a blessing. So it's only open to those in Virginia. I don't know what they're going to do this year, but I can say but for the first 3 years, because I've been following her, it's been open only to those who reside in Virginia. Christina, I want to thank you for joining me. This has been rich, and I'm going to continue this discussion on hair, on makeup, on everything, on all things beauty, including deodorant. But we want to have deodorant that doesn't have that antiperspirant in it. So thank you for joining me, dear heart, for a cup of tea today. Want to remind everyone that you can get delicious tea at girlfriendstea.com. Just go to girlfriendstea.com and click on luxury tea. We're working on a brand new website, so I can't wait to get that out. But I am taking my time because, like Christina, I want to get it right. So you can try our magnificent luxury tea at girlfriendstea.com and follow my girl Christina. So go now to savannahcurls.com. You have a Facebook page. You have your personal page. I know you have a Facebook page and IG, right?
yes.
So you can find her on IG and Facebook, and you can go to her website to order the beautiful shea butter and the black soap. What's that?
This is the silk bonnet.
The silk bonnet is in there. Okay. Well, everyone, thank you for joining us. Tell a friend about Girlfriends Tea. And Christina, when we have people on our show, I always salute you at the end. Girlfriend,
Girlfriend.
girlfriend. You were already my girlfriend, but now you're officially a girlfriend. And she's so young, but so wise. Everyone, thank you again. And Christina, it's been an absolute pleasure having you here with me.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for opening up your platform to me and being so gracious with me. Thank you.
You are so
Check
beautiful.
Sabrina out. Check Sabrina out. Her tea is amazing.
Thank you, sweetheart. Okay. Bye-bye, y'all.